Let's begin with a hard truth. You're not truly loved, you're tolerated. That stings, doesn't it? It should, because for most of your life, society has taught you that being loved is the ultimate goal. It's what you've been conditioned to chase after. But no one ever warned you that seeking this approval could be the cruelest trap you can fall into. Society tells you to be kind, pleasant, to please others, to earn their affection. You've been taught that if you just show enough kindness, if you're just agreeable enough, others will love you in return. But here's the truth that no one wants to acknowledge. Kindness, in many ways, is a doorway to betrayal. Every time you try to please, you make yourself vulnerable. Every smile, every kind gesture exposes you in ways you may not even realize. And as you try harder to please, the people around you silently measure your weakness. They calculate how far they can push you before you break. Deep down, even if you deny it, you know that love is fragile. It's changeable. It's subject to whims, fleeting emotions, and can be destroyed with a single wrong word or a mistake you didn't see coming. But fear is different. Fear doesn't come and go with moods. It's not based on fleeting sympathies. Fear is engraved in memory. It's like a scar that never goes away. Let's make a distinction here. I'm not talking about the kind of fear that generates hate or humiliation. That kind of fear is self-destructive and ultimately useless. No, I'm talking about a different kind of fear, fearful respect. Fearful respect is the kind of respect that keeps others from challenging you. It's the respect that makes people think twice before crossing you because they know the consequences will be severe. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to admit. It is far safer to be feared than loved. History is filled with examples of leaders who wanted nothing more than to be loved by everyone, only to be destroyed by those they trusted the most. Leaders who craved affection, who thought that by being liked, they would solidify their power. And yet, all their affection, their kindness, crumbled the moment they made one wrong move, or when others saw an opportunity to exploit their weaknesses. This isn't just a story from the past. Modern society pretends to reject the ideas of Machiavelli, but if you look closely, you'll see that these principles are practiced more than ever. You've been tricked. We've been conditioned to believe that firmness equals cruelty, that setting boundaries means you're a tyrant. But let's pause and think about it. Who benefits from that lie? The answer is simple. Those who are quietly waiting for your downfall, the ones who patiently wait for you to drop your guard. They are waiting for you to make a mistake, to let down your defenses, because the moment you do, they'll strike. Loyalty is fragile. It's a fleeting thing, sustained only as long as it serves the interests of the loyal party. But respect lasts as long as there's the fear of consequences. Consider the corporate world where CEOs often rule with an iron fist. Those who maintain their positions do so not because they are beloved, but because their subordinates respect their ability to make tough, unpopular decisions. Leaders who are feared for their competence and decisiveness often steer their companies through turbulent times, achieving lasting success. In politics, the resilient leaders are those who command respect through their unwavering principles and the fear of repercussions for crossing them. They understand that popularity is transient, but the impact of a decisive, respected rule endures. Even in personal relationships, the balance of fear and love is intricate. Parents, teachers, and mentors who set clear expectations and enforce them consistently are often the ones who earn the deepest respect. Their firmness is not about instilling terror, but about establishing boundaries that foster growth and mutual respect. The media loves to portray the notion that kindness and empathy are the sole paths to effective leadership. However, this narrative often overlooks the leaders who have successfully integrated fear into their strategy, creating a blend of respect and authority that commands attention. Look at the most effective sports coaches, for example. While they may not be the most loved, their players respect them deeply for the clear direction and discipline they provide, leading teams to victory. Ultimately, the choice lies with you. Will you seek fleeting affection, or will you cultivate the enduring power of fearful respect? Remember, respect built on fear is not about domination, but about commanding a space where your boundaries are acknowledged and your authority is respected. It's about creating an environment where your integrity and principles stand unchallenged, ensuring your legacy is one of strength and resilience. So, How do you achieve this balance? It starts with understanding the core values you stand for and the non-negotiables in your leadership style. It's about being consistent in your actions and ensuring that your consequences are just and fair. This approach not only garners respect, but also instills a sense of predictability and security among those who follow you. In conclusion, being loved is pleasant, but being respected is powerful. The leaders who leave a lasting impact are the ones who understand the delicate dance between fear and respect, wielding it with wisdom and integrity. Machiavelli understood something that many modern leaders forget. Power is built on two key principles: laws and force. Laws are important, they set limits, but force is what ensures those laws are respected. Without force, laws are just words on paper. And without laws, force becomes unchecked tyranny. An intelligent leader understands how to balance both. They understand that to maintain order, authority is needed. But they also know that they must avoid unnecessary cruelty, because cruelty breeds resentment. This delicate balance is the cornerstone of effective leadership, and it is more relevant today than ever. You might think this sounds cynical or cruel. After all, we've been taught that kindness is always the way. But how many times have you seen someone trampled on because they were too good, too kind? How often have you seen indulgence turned into permission for betrayal? And yet, you still cling to the idea that love will protect you from betrayal. It won't. The only defense you have is respect. Consider the role of a CEO in a major corporation. The CEO must enforce company policies, the laws, while ensuring that their authority is respected, the force. Employees must understand that while there is room for innovation and creativity, there are boundaries that cannot be crossed without consequence. This respect for authority creates an environment where productivity flourishes and goals are met consistently. In the realm of politics, leaders who skillfully balance laws and force often enjoy longer tenures and greater success. Take, for instance, the leadership style of historical figures such as Winston Churchill, who combined the rule of law with the decisive action needed during wartime. His leadership was not about blind aggression, but about calculated measures that commanded respect and ensured national security. Even in our personal lives, this balance is crucial. Parents and educators must set rules for children and students, but they must also enforce these rules with consistency and fairness. This is not about being authoritarian, but about fostering an environment of trust and respect where young minds can thrive. The misconception that kindness alone is sufficient for effective leadership is pervasive. While kindness is essential, it must be coupled with respect and authority. Leaders who rely solely on kindness may find themselves undermined or ignored, as their lack of authority fails to command the respect needed to lead effectively. Ultimately, the key to sustainable leadership is understanding the interplay between laws and force. It's about creating a legacy that balances empathy with strength, kindness with respect. By mastering this balance, leaders can inspire loyalty, drive progress, and maintain order, ensuring that their influence endures long after they are gone. In conclusion, remember that while laws set the framework, it is the force, wisely wielded, that ensures these laws are honored. Respect, not love, is the shield that guards leaders against betrayal. As you navigate your own journey, embrace the power of this balance to become the leader who commands not just love, but unwavering respect. Real power isn't about being liked. It's not about popularity or doing what people expect of you. True power lies in being respected. And yes, at times it involves being feared. Fear and respect are linked in a way that makes them incredibly powerful. Because, as history has shown, respect born of fear lasts much longer than fleeting admiration. The most effective leaders understand human nature. They know that people respect what they fear losing. They despise what they perceive as weak or easily obtainable. Here's the catch. Leadership is not about constant strength. Leadership is about knowing when to apply strength and when to pull back, when to act, and when to surprise. Unpredictability is a leader's most powerful tool. Who commands more respect? The one who always punishes, or the one who surprises with an unexpected reaction? The one who keeps others on edge? Think about it. True power is not about being predictable. It's about controlling the narrative, speaking little but clearly, making your words count. The greatest mistake a leader can make? Trying to please everyone. If you try to please everyone, you please no one. You'll end up betraying your own essence in the process. Consider the legendary Steve Jobs, a leader who was both feared and respected. His unpredictable nature kept his team on their toes, constantly striving for innovation and excellence. It was his ability to surprise and challenge that led Apple to groundbreaking success. In the realm of politics, think of leaders like Margaret Thatcher, who earned respect through her unwavering stance and strategic unpredictability. She understood that bending to please all would dilute her power and impact. Instead, she chose to lead with conviction, ensuring her legacy endured. In personal relationships, this dynamic holds true as well. Parents and educators who maintain a balance of firmness and unexpected kindness often see the most respect from children and students. They understand that consistency in principles, paired with the element of surprise, fosters a respectful and productive environment. The key to true power is not about being in constant control, but about strategically orchestrating situations to maintain respect. It's about knowing when to assert authority and when to allow moments of vulnerability, creating a powerful narrative that others cannot predict. In conclusion, embrace the unpredictability and the respect that comes with it. Let the fear of losing respect be a guide that shapes your leadership journey. By mastering the delicate balance of fear and respect, you will ensure your influence and legacy endure long after your immediate presence has faded. Let's talk about something that many leaders fail to acknowledge: the loneliness of power. Great leaders are often alone. The higher you rise in power, the fewer people can truly understand your decisions. The stronger you become, the fewer people you'll find standing by your side out of loyalty. This is the cruel paradox of power. The more power you have, the more isolated you become. But accepting this loneliness is key. Once you embrace this, you free yourself from emotional dependence, and only then can you make objective decisions, free from the influence of others' emotions. Consider historical figures like Winston Churchill during World War II. His decisions were monumental and often made in isolation, yet his ability to embrace the solitude of leadership allowed him to navigate the complexities of war with clarity and determination. In the corporate world, CEOs often face similar isolation. Their vision and decisions can be misunderstood or criticized by those who lack the full perspective. Yet, it is in these moments of solitude that true innovation occurs. As leaders are forced to rely on their intuition and expertise, modern leaders must understand that loneliness in power is not a weakness, but a strength. It allows for reflection, strategic thinking, and the cultivation of a personal vision untainted by the noise of outside opinions. This solitude, when embraced, becomes a fortress of strength. So, when you find yourself at the pinnacle, remember that the solitude of power is a testament to your strength, not a burden. It is within this space that the most profound and impactful decisions are made, paving the way for true leadership and lasting legacy. One of the most important tools of a leader is silence. It's a weapon that's often underestimated. Silence forces others to interpret your actions, your thoughts. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty creates power. When you remain silent, people around you become uneasy. They start filling in the blanks with their own insecurities. They wonder what you're thinking, what your next move will be. However, silence must be used wisely. Too much silence can breed distrust, and that leads to irrational fear, which can quickly turn into hatred. The key is balance. You must always measure the emotions you create in others. Consider the art of negotiation. A well-timed pause can shift the dynamics of a conversation, compelling others to reveal more than intended or to reconsider their stance. Silence can be a powerful tool to gain insight and leverage. In leadership, silence is not just absence of words, but a strategic choice that conveys confidence and self-control. Think of leaders like Nelson Mandela, who often used silence as a form of resistance and contemplation, allowing him to weigh his reactions carefully and emerge with powerful, thoughtful responses. In meetings, a leader's silence can encourage others to speak up, fostering an environment where diverse ideas can flourish. This silence is not passive, but an active engagement that values listening and reflection. Yet, silence should never be mistaken for inaction. It should serve as a precursor to decisive action. Too much silence without follow-up can leave followers confused and anxious, wondering about the direction and intentions of their leader. Ultimately, the strategic use of silence in leadership is about knowing when to hold back and when to step forward with clarity and purpose. It is a dance of words and pauses that, when mastered, can transform uncertainty into respect and authority. Another tool in your arsenal? Praise, but not too much. Praise administered carefully can generate loyalty like nothing else. But if you overdo it, if you give praise freely, it loses its power. You must give praise sparingly, at just the right moment, so it holds real value. Consider a leader in a corporate setting who praises an employee after a particularly challenging project. This well-timed recognition not only boosts the individual's morale, but also reinforces their commitment to the leader's vision. The key is ensuring that praise is genuine and aligned with significant achievements, making it a valuable currency in leadership. And then there's the art of managing your rivals. You will always have rivals, some open, some in the shadows. The most dangerous rival is the one who doesn't even know you've noticed them. Let them challenge you for a time. Let them think they're winning. Their failure, when it comes, will silently confirm your power. Think of this as a chess game, where every move is calculated. Allowing a rival to perceive small victories can lull them into a false sense of security. When the time is right, a strategic move can shift the balance of power back in your favor, showcasing your strength without the need for direct confrontation. In history, leaders like Julius Caesar understood the power of subtlety in managing rivals. By allowing his opponents to underestimate him, he was able to consolidate power and surprise them when they least expected it. Ultimately, the art of praise and managing rivals is about knowing how to use subtlety and timing to your advantage. It's about creating an environment where your leadership is respected and your power is acknowledged, without the need for constant assertion. In mastering these arts, you solidify your position as a leader who commands not only authority but also enduring respect. Every leader will face moments of crisis. There will come a time when you feel vulnerable, when your authority is questioned. How you react in these moments defines your true power. In these moments, don't panic. Stay calm, don't show fear. If you panic, you lose everything. But if you remain composed, if you demonstrate that your authority stands firm, even in the worst of times, you will earn the respect of everyone around you. Consider the example of a captain steering a ship through a storm. The crew looks to their leader for assurance. A leader who remains calm not only navigates the ship, but also instills a sense of confidence and security in their team. This calmness is a beacon in the chaos, guiding everyone safely to shore. In the business world, CEOs who maintain composure during financial downturns can turn potential disasters into opportunities for growth and innovation. Their steadiness reassures stakeholders and inspires the entire organization to rally together. Ultimately, it's not the absence of challenges, but your response to them that solidifies your leadership. By embodying resilience and confidence, you transform potential setbacks into defining moments of strength and leadership. Now, after all of this, you must ask yourself, do you really want power? Because power is not for the faint of heart. It is dangerous, uncomfortable, and full of uncertainty, but it is also incredibly beautiful. It is irresistible. The true leader is one who thrives in discomfort, who lives in the tension of constant uncertainty, and who knows how to navigate it. True leadership isn't about always being right. It's about knowing when to act, when to retreat, and when to let others make their own mistakes. This wisdom in action fosters an environment where learning and growth are paramount, allowing a leader to cultivate a resilient and innovative team. Greatness comes from understanding this delicate balance between fear and respect, and knowing how to use both to create loyalty without crossing into hatred. It's about inspiring others through the strength of your convictions and the humility to acknowledge your limitations. In this pursuit of power, remember that true strength lies not just in commanding others, but in empowering them to rise alongside you. Thus, the leader who masters the art of power not only navigates its challenges, but enriches the lives of those they lead.